So we got the second set of the 42 series. The total is going to be 10 in the starter diamond choice pack. And if you order the $100 pre-order edition, you're going to be able to select 2. If you order the $85 version, you're only going to be able to select 1. And trust me, after you see the choices of all 10, which I'm not going to show you all 10 right here, so quit asking, you're going to want to get 2 instead of 1. So this was revealed Thursday, which is today, but most likely this video is being uploaded tomorrow. So yesterday, we got Hank Aaron, primary right field. We got Frank Thomas, primary first base. Pedro Martinez, primary starting pitcher. Cal Ripken Jr., primary shortstop. And then Babe Ruth, primary left field. So all 10 all together, you have 2 more center fielders in Ken Griffey Jr., Willie Mays. You got yourself a second baseman in Jackie Robinson, a closer in Mariano Rivera, and then a starting pitcher in Bob Gibson. We're going to be looking at some MLB The Show 20 cards, comparing it to these cards, except for Pedro Martinez and Hank Aaron for obvious reasons. They weren't in MLB The Show 20, in case you didn't know. And one thing I want to let you all know, if these cards are as juiced as the Team Affinity cards that have been coming out, which I believe they are, why? Let me show you. This is why. In the SDS stream yesterday or today, Jackie Robinson, contact primary, 88 overall. Team Affinity cards that we have been seeing from Shelfie, Fuzzy, Movie Game and TV, all of them, 88 overalls. So it seems like the starter diamonds are going to go bar for bar with the Team Affinity diamonds, which is amazing to me, which means that these cards are going to be juiced. So everything I said before about the rankings, throw that out the window. These are going to be way too early rankings, but we're going to do it anyways because content. That's why. So let's start. So we're going to start off with Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth is going to be a left fielder, not a right fielder. So change that RF to an LF. Most likely going to have a secondary of first base. And that's exactly where you're going to want to play Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth is going to have great hitting numbers against both sides in terms of contact and power. And he's going to have decent fielding, not good enough fielding to put him out there in left field. And he's probably going to have decent speed, not good enough speed to put him out there in left field. But you're still going to want his bat because Babe Ruth has one of the glitchiest swings in the game. I'm telling you that right now. If you watch MLB The Show 20, I was about to say 21. If you watch MLB The Show 20 content creators, many of them still use Babe Ruth if they're trying to go for top 50, etc. because the man is a cheat code and they all have him at first base. So that's why Frank Thomas, he gets a little bit alienated in terms of the power rankings, or his overall in terms of the power ranking numbers. It decreases probably all the way to the bottom because Babe Ruth is most likely, if you go ahead and pick him up, who is going to be at first base for you. But we haven't gave him his rank out of these 5 yet, so stay tuned till the end for that. Let's go on to the next one. Now when it comes to Cal, I'm gonna be looking at his home run derby card. I think that his home run derby card is gonna be a more accurate representation of what that starter diamond is gonna look like. He's gonna have better numbers against lefties, but his numbers are still gonna be good against righties to hit. So he's gonna be an all-around shortstop. Great defense in terms of fielding, in terms of arm strength, reaction, all of that. Great bat to have in the lineup. And then his speed is going to be good enough to have for a shortstop. So you're not going to have any problems with Cal Ripken Jr. I think that him starting it off as an 88 overall, the only thing that can make him not a for sure pick is the rest of the team affinities that are going to be revealed. If we get a team affinity that has a switch hitting shortstop, or a shortstop in general that can basically outdo Cal Ripken Jr., his projection in terms of the draft is going to go down. And so far, we've only had Dansby Swanson come out that can really go ahead and compete with Cal Ripken Jr. Now, when it comes to Frank the Tank, everybody knows what it is. If you're looking at Big Papi, Frank the Tank is exactly the opposite in terms of hitting splits. Frank is going to be great against lefties. He's going to be good enough against righties. And then no fielding and speed. He's faster than Big Papi, I'll tell you that. But he's still not going to be a quick guy. But for first base, he's going to be quick enough, to be honest with you. He's going to be most likely a platoon hitter. And you can switch him out with Babe Ruth if you need to. If you go ahead and pick Frank and Babe Ruth in terms of the starter diamonds, which I highly doubt you would end up doing that. Now, Hank Aaron, right? And we're going to go back to the pictures real quick. Let's talk about it. So Hank Aaron, he's a primary right fielder. Everybody knows Hank Aaron has power. Going to have speed, going to have good enough fielding. Pedro Martinez, I looked up his arsenal. It's going to be fastball primary, circle change secondary. He's going to have a sinker, a slider, and then a knuckle curve. He's going to be a 5-pitch pitcher, which is going to be amazing. If we go ahead and look at all 10, we're going to have a very difficult time ranking these guys 1 through 10. But right now, we only got these 5, so let's go ahead and rank them. Coming in at number 5, it shouldn't be no surprise. It's going to be Frank Thomas. In the beginning of the game, you're going to have a bunch of gold third basemen and even a bunch of diamond third basemen, first basemen that are going to be able to rival the production that Frank Thomas is going to give you. And also, most of the times, your first baseman is usually a platoon hitter. If there's a lefty starting pitcher, you bring in Frank Thomas, let's say. And if it was a right-handed starting pitcher, you would bring someone else. So that's why Frank Thomas, out of these 5, he is at number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Hank Aaron. Despite, yes, him having the speed, fielding, power numbers, etc., right field is preserved for Joey Gallo, and that's who it should be preserved for everyone purchasing MLB The Show 21. First thing you do, go into Team Affinities, get yourself that Joey Gallo, because that Joey Gallo is going to rip. Joey Gallo is arguably the best card at the start of the game and has been the best card at the start of the game since MLB The Show 19, probably since 18 to be honest. And then we go to number 3. Number 3, more of a difficult decision here, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, he's not going to be a great defender, so you usually don't want to put him out in left field. He's going to be a first baseman for you. Now, what makes Babe Ruth great is most of his cards, it doesn't matter if you bring in a lefty or a righty, his splits against both are going to be pretty much equal, if not similar to each other. So he's going to be able to hit against both sides. That's the humongous plus for Babe Ruth. The other plus for Babe Ruth is he has a glitchy swing, so he's going to help you out a lot there. He's probably going to have better fielding than Frank Thomas, even at first base being his secondary position. So that's why we got Babe Ruth there. And plus, he's going to be a left-handed hitter. Most starting pitchers in Diamond Dynasty are right-handed hitters, so Babe Ruth is going to be at an advantage most of the times. Coming in at number 2, we're going to give it to Cal Ripken Jr. And only because most go ahead and make their shortstops their cap. It's either shortstop or catcher. One thing that might make a lot of people make either their shortstop, catcher, or second baseman, but in particular, either their shortstop or second baseman their cap, is as of right now, we don't know of any switch hitting viable cap, or not cap, but player that can play shortstop that's going to be a diamond. Maybe a lot of people are instead going to go with Fernando Tatis at short, which is a really good decision. But nonetheless, you got Salvador Perez at the catching spot. And his Team Affinity came out. The card is juiced beyond belief. Trust me, go watch Movie Gaming's video if you don't believe me. And with that being said, that means that a lot of people are going to be looking at short for their cap, second base, and that unfortunately is going to make Cal a little bit less usable. And then last but not least, we got Pedro Martinez. Why do I have Pedro Martinez as the number 1 option out of all of them? So we've gotten ourselves 2 Team Affinity pitchers so far. We got Luis Castillo, we got Jose Berrios, and then we got ourselves Bob Gibson as the starter diamond in the other one. Pedro Martinez does something better than all 3 of those guys. Pedro Martinez is going to throw you some real mean heaters. He's going to have excellent off-speed pitches, but the most important thing is he is going to have a 5-pitch repertoire. Now, these are way too early predictions regardless, so don't go ahead and say for sure, yes, I'm going to go ahead and pick Pedro Martinez from the second set, or I'm going to go ahead and pick Pedro Martinez and Cal Ripken Jr. because Bhlademyst says so, because this is still too early. When the game drops, I'm going to look at the attributes and I'm going to do a ranking as well. But as of right now, I like speculating for content, so that's exactly what I'm doing. What do you think about my rankings? Do you agree with them, disagree with them? Leave it down in the comment section below. If you did end up enjoying today's content, hit that like button, subscribe button, follow me on all socials at Bhlademyst. Click on the channel, more Bhlademyst. Make sure you follow my other channels, Variety Gaming, Reaction Channel. Turn on that notification bell. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.